So, welcome to Organize Your Money from Empowering Self-Care. This is a training that is built from a lot of experience with coaches, with cases, with family, with people, but also a lot of training that I have done myself, especially because money can be taken through two lenses. Like one is the super pragmatic one that you take the numbers and you make just the numbers, kind of what is visible, the numbers. But then there is another approach that is like this mindset of abundance, feeling millionaire, fulfill your dreams, or all these things. So the way that I have learned that is a good process to manage money is to merge both. So this training is gonna be working on that, on our relationship with money and also our management of the money, which is the complementary way where we can actually build and progress in life. I have also wondered a lot how to make things sustainable, that if we decide that we are going to track something, how we can actually make it happen in the long term to find ways to actually sustain our habits regarding money. Money is another thing that we have to take care in our lives. There are different areas that we have, and the best way that we can prevent financial distress or bad decisions that take us to financial distress is by paying attention to this topic in a more preventive way. It's the same with our physical health. For instance, we can go to the doctor or we can correct things when we are already sick, or we can also train for ourselves and strengthen our body and strengthen our physical health, and then the way that we eat and everything. So this preventive health is very important. It's the way that is going to prevent a lot of the stress, or that we can also correct maybe things that we need to correct and start preventing and start living a life that is more fulfilling. My background includes trauma. My background includes difficulties on money, like includes debts, includes moments of very uncertain times where I didn't have how to pay for school or things like that, especially in the US. And nowadays I have savings that I am growing, but at the same time I am economist. So the first thing that I wanna also throw here is we are not having financial education, not even the people who study finances or economics as I did, not even us have financial education. So I think the first thing that is important for all of us to take out of the table is to not feel embarrassed, because this is not something that we have at school. Our parents probably didn't have the knowledge to teach us these things. So the first thing is we are all trying to understand these different perspectives, integrate them, and then finding the best ways and then teach for the generations to come, but especially for the adults that we are in the planet, and improve that relationship. So not even the privileged people have the education in a more integrative way. So this is something that a lot of people is building, these programs, and it's the time for everyone to learn. So the first thing is that, like, the other is English is my second language. So if at any point you don't understand something that I'm saying, or I'm talking too fast, because sometimes I get excited, just give me a sign and I can slow down, or I can say in another way what I'm trying to say. So today we are gonna start from the beginning, and the beginning is the mindset and the dynamics of the training. And so I'm gonna share my screen. So basically the word empowering is the key focus that we are gonna have in this training, but we are also gonna be diving in how different are personal finances or household finances through the process. So when something is important for a household, I will say it, but in general, all topics are the same for people and for households. It's just that sometimes the way to apply it might vary a bit if you are with a partner. And here we are gonna actually use that word a lot, like really partners, because when we are in a household, we need to really work as a team work. Um, so I am Viviana Oquendo. I am from Colombia. I came to the US to do a PhD in public policy. My background is in economics, and I focus on understanding how to build socio-economic development for peace. This peace, personal, social, and with the environment. And here, I do that as a coach, and in my academic life, I do that as a researcher, and as a policymaker, I do that creating and making this type of programs available for people. So you can find me in Doing From Within, but in Instagram, but I am working right now with Strengthening Rural Families. This is the NGO that made this possible, and we are funded and supported by Stand By Me Program Oregon and by the Lynn Benton Lincoln Health Equity Alliance. So this is an effort that these organizations and I are doing to promote financial health in our communities. This program, as I was saying, take a lot of sources of information. I just wanted to highlight some examples like the book Design Your Life, the Mindful Finance Program, coaching and mentoring training with Maria Jose Fonol, which is an amazing mentor, and how to reparent ourselves through therapy and through trainings about conscious parenting, and of course the core training with Stand By Me program, which was the seed that make a lot of topics to create curiosity in my brain. A lot of books, a lot of podcasts, a lot of many sources of information that we are integrating in this program. So please enjoy it, because it's also a way to save a lot of time for you to do all this process. So thank you for connecting. So welcome, and thank you especially for being live, because it also helps building the energy for the recordings. And so I hope that you enjoy as much as you can. Okay, so the dynamic of this program, so we are gonna have 12 topics. All of them are important. Next week, I'm going to introduce a bit the budget as well, and some logics that are important to take into account before we dive into budgeting. But beyond that, we are going to go through the game of the credit score, through debts, through savings, the goals, where to grow them, how to put joy into the budget, especially when we have like short budgets. How to do the check-ins without making so much pressure in the habits for ourselves, what to do when we have extra or missing money, how to handle the digital safety with our money, and we are gonna end with topics about investing and how to maybe expand even more our savings. For these sessions, I really encourage you to have something to handwrite. If you like physical, this is something that is going to be very special in this training, and we are going to be able to work digital or to work on paper. So however you feel that you like it more, just take it. If your inner child is craving for colors and papers, just follow it. The idea is precisely that joy starts in today. Joy, yes, we are going to talk about it deeply at some point, but it starts in the beginning, it starts in the process, it starts in the context, it starts in the food, it starts in the time, it starts in how we make it joyful, even learning or doing something that maybe we think that is boring, but in the end you will see that it's actually another habit that is enjoyable if we decided to do it. And I really invite to start talking about money like that, even if we have very short money or income, like let's start seeing how we can put joy on that topic. So please bring things to handwrite when we are gonna work on budgeting specifically. For people working on papers, you need the same as in the other classes, just things to handwrite, colors, if you want bigger papers or something like that, that's great. And for the digital, we are gonna use templates that we are gonna also use to guide the people who are working in paper. But you guys are gonna be able to just copy those templates and work on them. But for the handwriting, then use either paper or tablets that you can actually handwrite. Handwriting is important because that's a different process than just typing things. So I really encourage the handwriting process. I am not the expert on that, but I have felt the difference. So you can dive into that if you get curious, but that's the suggestion. Please have nice environments, get used to that from this training. Whenever you, in the future, you do your own times with your money, do the same. Have a candle, have nice smells. I have right now a diffuser. I am taking coffee, water, like there is light. Those are important things because if we are going to talk about or do something that might be a bit stressful and we are tired and we are in a context that doesn't feel very great, that doesn't help. So let's help ourselves by having a nice environment to work on difficult topics ish. Sometimes they are stressful, sometimes they are not. So let's do that. And then have drinks or snacks so that maybe you can focus better. Some people need to be taking notes, or some people don't, or some people maybe just need the handwriting to pay attention. So those are things of dynamics that I think is important. And please just if I am not being clear or something, just let me know. And for questions, let me finish the explanations and then make the questions. But if I am changing topics and you have a question about a previous topic, feel free to ask me in that moment. Okay. Okay. Let's first start by closing our eyes. And if you don't feel comfortable closing your eyes, then just close them a bit so that they are still open, but you can actually go inwards. I want to just invite you to breathe, and this is something that you can also do every time that you do something about money. You just breathe, like release, let's enter in the moment. You can try to, like when you inhale, just take a lot of air until you expand your stomach and then let it go slowly. What matters the most is that you do it slowly, slower every time. Let's do like deep breathings 3 times. It's just breathing, it's nothing else. Like exhale slowly. And I want you to just feel or remember the child that you were, like when you played with papers, when you played with colors, when you first bought your first ice cream or things like that, And I want you to connect with that energy of enjoyment and of learning and put it like in your heart. And then while you keep breathing slowly, try to move it to your brain. Try to expand it to your whole body and let it even get out of your body and expand your where you are right now. And this is our anchor. So let's intention this training to be useful for you, for everyone in your life, for humanity in general, and that everything that we are going to learn here is for the best for everyone. And slowly, when you feel ready, start like coming back, moving your body, opening your eyes. So, are we ready?